You figured out that your survival technique and how to make the biggest impact in your family would be to make things easier for others.
Mhm.
I imagine that you've done this with everyone because it worked at home.
Mhm.
Great job. What could be kinder than that? And the efforts that you put forward. I mean, I would definitely want you on my team.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that if you, I don't know what your status is, but if I were going to partner you in any relationship, intimate or otherwise, I would make sure, because you're a giver, that I would never put you with a taker,
Mhm.
because you would feel the goodness. You're getting something out of giving. And that taker would be, that's fantastic. Now there's an unconditional, my son calls it the 48-hour unconditional love clause, because no matter what,
Yeah.
the unconditional love clause will reinstate with mom.
Yeah.
And he is correct. But you givers will have an unconditional love clause. If you're with a taker who you've chosen to anonymously donate to because that gives you an altruistic, that top level recognition, and you're choosing to do that for no other reason except to do that because you're philanthropic and you've got the capacity to do that,
Mhm.
that's perfect. For example, if you were taking care of a puppy, a kitten, a baby, you're not really going to expect much back. And if they look at you and smile or coo, or somehow in future years they build a trust with you because you cared for them, then yes, you totally earned that recognition. And voila, there's really very few things better than that. So you're a giver. Knowing that, make sure that you're partnering with people who won't take advantage of you.
Mhm.
Now, my loving givers in the world, please listen. You are getting something out of giving. It's really impossible to change other people, and it may feel great at first. But if we partner you with someone who's also a giver, who is a receiver, then you get this beautiful ebb and flow where at least one of you is happy at some point in time.
Yeah.
And that is enough, because you know your partner, your whatever relationship that is, could be professional, personal, friend, whatever. Then is if there's that give and take or give and receive,
Mhm.
you know that you're not just giving to elevate someone else, and that what I say is, when you're busy taking care of everyone and everything, who is taking care of you?
Mhm.
Because we don't want you to be depleted to the point where you have adrenal fatigue, cortisol stress goes up, you gain unwanted weight, you have, this is where people say their immune system breaks down, and this is where they get ill, to tie it back into another question that you had. So partnering with the right people is key. You've also described an anxious attachment style.
Mhm.
So this is why I was, oh, she got a lot going on in this
Yeah.
question. I break it down for you.
I got a lot going on in this break.
Well, I mean, that's another thing to your point. You are brilliant. You show it by the way you show up, by the way you articulate. Your communication is clear. You have a goodwill message to help others and make a difference.
Mhm.
In response, that gives you altruistic fulfillment.
Yes.
See how quickly we can get that. So when you've got someone with an anxious attachment style, and again, those are things that we learn very early on in life. And there are 4 different attachment styles, to give you the 5-second rundown on attachment science. There's anxious attachers, secure attachers, avoidant attachers, and then anxious avoidant. Okay. Any which way you are is totally fine. There's no judgment on any of them. It's a self-understanding of how you are motivated to achieve things, how, as I was saying earlier, when you enter a group, how you are going to initially see that you will be able to make a positive difference in the group and where you fit. So an anxious attacher, like to identify them very quickly, they will be givers. And then in a relationship, they'll of any kind, they'll be like, what could I do more? How could I do something better? How can I add that incremental value? What could I say? And if the relationship, crumbles, they're like, it must be my fault. What could I have done to fix this? So they take all kinds of responsibility, leaving them with anxiety and frustration and alone and lonely. But I'll tell you, it is so attractive for an anxious attacher and an avoidant attacher to come together. Avoidant attachers may have had a similar experience and upbringing to you, but what their life skill is that they've learned is that if they just don't get too close, they'll be fine. So they won't open up and be vulnerable, but they're still looking externally for that fulfillment of who they are and the role they fill in life. Anxious attachers and avoidant attachers will often be super attracted to one another. These avoidants are often charismatic, attractive in many different ways. They'll come together. The anxious attacher will fulfill this person and do anything to allow them to like flow and light up and illuminate into like fireworks. The relationship is as exciting as the best part of a movie moment. But much like the movie moments and fireworks, all of that fizzles when suddenly the avoidant attacher is like, oh, this is not enough. I want more. And they will then break off the greatest relationships of all time to protect themselves so that someone else doesn't break up with them. First of all, they can hold their head up high, and they will then leave and distance themselves from even a really good relationship, looking externally for that approval, that proof that they are lovable, and they'll go someone else to prove they're lovable, leaving the anxious attacher to go, what else could I have done? I gave them everything. Now, a secure attacher like myself is somebody who gets it. And if you put an anxious attachment style or an avoidant or even an anxious avoidant with a secure attached person, then they'll say, okay, if you need some space, go take that. I'm right here. They will remain stable and solid for the person who needs to retreat, regroup, and then come back and go, oh, okay, I'm safe here. You're good. With an anxious attacher with a stable, secure person, then they will also be like, wait, I'm not enough. And the secure attachment will be like, you're totally enough. What are you talking about? You're amazing. And they'll go, huh? Actually, we talked about this at the very beginning when we met. I didn't realize that we were playing that out, but I was acknowledging how together
would be in one of your books. Yeah.
You so people ask me, how do I move from this anxious attachment or avoidant attachment style? And I say, the way that you do that is through working with someone who understands the attachment styles and can bring you closer to a secure attached relationship. Also, if you're partnering with people in, intimate or professional or personal relationships with a secure attacher, they will naturally bring you to that point, which can be undone, outside, unless you learn the tools. So with my clients who are anxious attachers, we bring them to calm. We help them set boundaries and open up so they are fulfilled by giving to the people who appreciate them. And for the avoidant attachers, we invite them to stay in a relationship. And I ask a litmus test question. Do you want to be in a relationship? Yes. Do you want to be in a relationship with this person? that's where things change. And
Mm.
they say yes, then it's a matter of how can we make it safe for you to stay. And then I've partnered, oh my God, I love what happens naturally and organically is my clients will attract relationships to them where their partners will be like, hey, can you be nicer to my girlfriend? So they'll just hold space while an avoidant attachment style spins and works all that through in their head, and they're still safe with their partner. I'm like, that's right. You got it. All right. So I think I got 3 of them. The 4th one is seeking approval outside your core values. I was listening.
You're gonna need a nap after talking to me. Yeah. It's like the dog.
No, you're rocking. It was my favorite thing to do in the whole world. So I help people find out what are their core values because we have them. We base all of our decisions are based on our core value system. But so often we just forget them or we don't pay attention to them. And instead of having this clear, well-lit path toward our goals, we go, ooh, shiny object. That looks interesting. Let's try that out. It looks fun. What the? And then I've fallen off course from my goals, right? Okay, that's fine. As long as it's fun. If everyone, here's the other litmus test. Are you safe? Are you hurting anyone? Is anyone hurting you? Are you having fun? Okay, all good. Go chase your shiny object. Have fun over there. It's not going to stop you from success. It means you realize, oh, this is fun. Okay, we're good. Okay. So when we figure out what our value system is, and I usually invite people I have a list of core values. We circle all the ones that are important to us. There's a total secret ninja skill in here. So listen up if you want to get that part. Then we choose the top 5 that represent who we are right now in life. And they may change a little bit through life, but not that much. You've chosen your top 5. Then all the decisions that you make, and I do this in a professional setting too, because I want to respect the people who I'm working with. So I make sure that anything we're doing is in alignment with their value system so that they are not compromising who they are to make something happen. So once you know your values, then you go, is the decision I'm making in line with my values and goals? Yes, then that's yay, yes, go for it. If it's outside of your values, then I would invite you to question, why am I making that choice? I'm not going to tell you not to. It's your life. It's your one precious life. You get to do what you want. But I would invite you to use it as a GPS and go, am I still going the direction I want to be going if this is where my value system lies? That's fine. Now, here's a couple of extra keys and magic to how this works so beautifully. If you're looking to invite someone into your life, let's figure out the core values you'd like to invite into your life, because they may not be exactly the same as yours, but they'll be, complementary. People ask me, do you believe in love at first sight? I do. It's a lot easier to find what you're looking for when you have an idea of what you are looking for. And looking for, I have 3 layers that I help people attract, navigate, and enjoy the right love in their lives. One is, where are you at on the lifeline of your relationship arc, I call it. Where are you at in life? What's your potential? What's your capacity? And what would you like for the rest of your life? To find someone at a similar intersection makes the relationship easier and fun. You could be at different points, but making it similar makes it easier and fun. Why not put that in place first? Then having comparable core values aligns how you make decisions as individuals and together. Then everything else starts to get easy, right? Next level: faith, family, fun, fitness, physical, finance, career, intellect, culture, all those other things that we tend to put first, and we just hope the other things are going to line up. Put them in this order is my big secret ninja skill, and understand that you can have an idea of when someone is right based on the value systems and where they're at in life, and all the similarities that we enjoy when we're with a partner. Putting those in order makes all the difference in the world. Now, to answer your other question, so I guess there were 5 layers to your statement. I got you. Was this: do you think it would make sense to seek approval from someone outside of your core value system?
No.
I agree with you, but what happens when it's one of your parents or someone you respect, a teacher or a mentor? Then that needs another outside, somebody who knows what they're talking about, to figure things out with you. Because in reality, if someone, even a parent or a mentor, is making decisions outside of who you are and what you believe in, seeking approval from them, it's never going to work. They're just not going to give it. And they can find power over withholding it over you. So there's ways to get what you need from that and move forward in life and have a wonderful relationship with those people without compromising who you are. And that's a big growth opportunity. That being a good girl, for example, that's what you said. You want to be a good girl. You can be a good girl. And I'm going to use your parents, who I don't know, which is why I feel it's okay to use that, or anyone's parents. They are back here. For some reason, I have attached to this hand signal to this message. So I don't know why, but it comes up every time. They're here and they have given you the best they could. They've imparted what they could for you. They made the best choices based on their environment, their economics, their circumstances, and they've offered you whatever they could give you at that point. But you are here. So you take what you would like and what will serve you. But you, as you can see, have a totally different environment, set of variables, goals, dreams, desires. So with that, you need to make the right decisions that are right for you, not just the ones that will say, good girl, from these people here, or for whatever culture that gave you that programming. So that's how that works. When we're in partnerships, we have these expectations that other people can fulfill these wishes and dreams and goals. In the example of a parent-child relationship where you're the child, the parents are giving so much safety, security, nourishment, all the 7 things. They're helping you to regulate hot, cold, food, water. Are you hurt? Do you need love? Do you need stimulation? I got all 7 that time. So whatever, if you're listening to the recording, pay attention to those 7. But when we continue to ask advice of them, that's then outside their area of expertise, that's the boundary. We've asked too far. So knowing what your advisory boards, I'll call it, expertise is, and asking them within their zone of genius and doing what's right for you. I think I answered all of the secretly layered questions.
Good job.